Howdy y'all, Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Bear the Wolves. Ooh, look, everything's on fire. Just like I wanted it to be. Nice. So it hasn't been on fire. We're going on 2 hours of playing this game. Look, there's a giant fire going over there too. There's a big thunderstorm, so, um, in the game, not in real life. Uh, no, so here's the thing. Oh, there's another spider. Burn his place down. Burn his place down. That's right. Your jungle is going to burn up, spider. Oh, look, I think my fire across the water there is going up too. I built a little bridge right here using wood planks across the water there. So I did start some fire over there. Um, so I guess I'm going to try for a third time to talk about what I want to talk about. Yeah, so the first video went too long, and so I wanted to try and condense it, and then the second video cut out somewhere in the middle because I ran out of hard drive space, and I'm not sure where it cut off, so I just deleted it. I'm starting over. So yeah, so I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff, and in a Better Than Wolves video, but I'm gonna talk about other video games today because I want to. Yep, that is lightning strike fire right there. So I've been playing Cyberpunk, and oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. I saw a skeleton appeared here, so I want to make sure to get this lit up so I don't get no more skeletons spawning and shooting me while I'm trying to work on things. Um, so I have been working on the base, and so I've got to move some things around. Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk is a strange mixture of something I really like and something I think I really dislike. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about that. So there's going to be some spoilers for the game, and I thought I would start by talking about Mass Effect 3. Because the game kind of reminds me a bit of Mass Effect 3 in regards to the endings. Uh, so, here's the deal. Um, I have Mass Effect. I guess let's talk about Mass Effect and why I couldn't compare them. So, Mass Effect. Oh no. Mass Effect. Oh, I screwed that up. Dang it. I guess let's just get back down in here. So the deal is that Mass Effect was this game from a few years ago that was a sci-fi RPG, and the uh, whoops, well, let's not compound the issue here. And then I think this was the front of everything, and then I can fill this back in. And so My issues with Mass Effect 3, we'll see if I can keep this short, because I definitely didn't manage the last 2 times I attempted this, was... Okay, get some light in here so I can see what I'm doing. Was the final game in the series, Mass Effect 3, promised to... Now, this is not like Cyberpunk's. I do not recall Cyberpunk ever promising multiple endings, based off of things I had done previously. No, there's none of that. That's not my issue. That's not my issue. My issue is that neither game had good endings, as far as I can tell. I haven't done all the endings to Cyberpunk, but so far I have hated the endings. I haven't done them all, but they are not the kind of endings that I was looking for. And so I know I talked about this in a previous video of 7 Days to Die, but I have since done some other endings, and so I wanted to get back into discussing the endings of Cyberpunk. So spoilers for Mass Effect, spoilers for Cyberpunk. Um, so Mass Effect promised, not hinted, not leaked, fake trailer, promised that your choices mattered. That was one of their big selling points, that your choices mattered. And not just your choices in Mass Effect 3, but your choices in Mass Effect 1 and 2 could be brought into Mass Effect 3. In fact, I think there was a series of questions if you didn't have your saved games from Mass Effect 1 and 2 where you could fake Mass Effect 1 and 2 choices into Mass Effect 3, because that is how important those choices were. And so I played through Mass Effect 1, I played through Mass Effect 2. When I finished Mass Effect 1, I made the final saved game. When I started Mass Effect 2, I loaded up final saved game. And then I play Mass Effect 3, right? And all of Mass Effect 3 is this story where you are attempting to build a group strong enough to fight back against the alien invaders. Now, there are aliens in the game, but they are from your galaxy. And so the game has you fighting back against this group called the Reapers, who are from outside the galaxy. And their goal is to wipe out all technologically advanced life forms, because they were programmed by somebody else at some point in the past to do that, with the idea that they would allow for younger races to advance by killing off older technologically advanced races. That's the story. And so in Mass Effect 3, they're like, yeah, we got like 40 or 60, I don't remember what the number was, endings, and the endings are all made based on the multiple choices that you made that change your storyline in Mass Effect 1 and 2. And they're major, they're they're not major choices necessarily, but they're major. Whoops, I did not want to do that. They are major choices, but they're things like, do you save this race? Did you manage to save this race? Did you send someone on a suicide mission? Who did you send on the suicide mission? Stuff like that. And so that changes who's available and what storylines take place and things like that. And so, great. You get to the end of Mass Effect 3, there are 4 endings. 4. Not 60. Your choices didn't matter. Your choices do not matter to the endings of Mass Effect 3. They matter slightly to the storyline, but they have nothing to do with the ending. And so the endings were in reality a single ending with different colors. Uh, so even on top of no, we didn't have 60 endings. They didn't even have the 4 endings that they pretended they had. And so your 4 choices were to destroy the Reapers and all other synthetic life forms who you had been working with and saving and changing from bad guys to good guys. Let's just wipe them out. Yeah, no, I didn't want that. That was a horrible, horrible ending. And then there was the merge yourself with synthetic life forms, merge all things, all organic life forms in the galaxy now become partially synthetic, however that works. And then the last one was to take control of the Reapers, and I didn't really care for that ending either. I don't remember why it's been so long, but there was a reason I didn't care for that ending. I guess it was the fact that you had spent an entire game of hours and hours and hours building a fleet to fight back, and then there wasn't even an option to fight back. And so then they go and you get to right, you get to the end, and are you after the backlash from the fact that they absolutely lied about everything. Um, they're like, fine, like it was bad. It was like, how dare fans question our creative integrity? They don't get to dictate to us what our endings are going to be, stuff like that. And it's like, I get that. I understand. You wanted to tell a story, but you promised things, and your story sucks. And so I am allowed to complain that I find your story to suck. And so Cyberpunk comes along now, and I felt like it was probably going to be overhyped. And I was not wrong. It is definitely overhyped. And they didn't try very hard to make a cohesive story. Okay, so like everything I need to do is outside. I need clay. I don't. Do I have clay? Do I have some clay to make some more soul urns? I do. I do have some clay right here. Let's get the clay and we'll go work on some of these. So Cyberpunk, right? I'm going through it. Cyberpunk has got basically 4 endings with some slight variations in, I don't know, at least one of the endings. So it's, I mean, it's, they didn't promise 60 endings. I wasn't going in expecting a bunch of different endings, but I was expecting something. So here's my big issue with Cyberpunk and its choice of terrible endings. So your 4 endings. There's the super spoilers. There's the Nomad ending. There's the Arasaka ending. There's the Rogue ending, and then there's the Suicide Mission ending. And I guess technically there's 5. There's also actual suicide. And so the Cyberpunk is a game about you get a chip stuck in your head that has the personality of this dude named Johnny Silverhand, who is played by Keanu Reeves. So now the chip is trying to rewrite your brain to make you Johnny Silverhand. And so you are trying to find a way to get it out while interacting with Johnny Silverhand through a good chunk of the game. So It turns out that this corporation Arasaka has a prison where they kept Johnny in his computer soul form, um, and so he was there for like 50 years, and before you stuck him in your head. So one of the things that you got to do is there's the person who developed the software that allowed him to be pulled from his body and placed into cyberspace, right? Or a cyber prison, I guess. And turns out that woman is dead, but her weird, not really her AI form still exists. And so you go and you talk to her, and you come back with the software Soul Killer. Well, you don't come back with it. She says she'll give it to you when you go to assault Arasaka. And you also get some romances that you can do in the game. And so I chose to romance this character named Panam. And I don't usually do the romance thing. I did for this game. Sometimes I do. Most of the time I don't. And so Panam is part of the Nomads, which are like this, I want to call them a biker gang. They're a lot like the guys from Sons of Anarchy, we'll say. And so I'm like, all right, so biker gang, gotcha. They don't ride motorcycles though. They ride cars. So Fast and the Furious, whatever. I didn't watch enough Fast and the Furious to know if that's true, but I'm gonna pretend they're like the Fast and the Furious. And so I went with that ending, the Nomad ending. So I get the Nomads. They help me break into Arasaka. When we get into Arasaka, the leader of the group who I had been working with gets killed. And I'm like, oh, well, that's terrible. Like, I already don't like this ending because now I'm killing off main characters who I've been working with for ages in the game. On top of that, you can build out your character. It's an RPG, and so you pick what skills you want. And so I went with Stealthy Sniper Hacker. It's my pretty much default in this kind of game, and I don't think there are any missions that take advantage of being a stealthy sniper hacker. So I feel a little disappointed that there's no stealthy sniper hacker mission to end the game. So instead, we take and assault a work site that's guarded by the military, and then we use a tank to fight the military and blow up some doors. And then when we get inside the building, we jack in, and your guy activates Soul Killer, and then you go into this cyber realm, which is the only time in the whole game you do this. And in the cyber realm, you meet the AI. Now, part of the reason going in here was because I want to destroy the prison, right? Destroy the prison, free the people, get me and Johnny either merged or split or something, and go on about my way. Well, then the AI is like, okay, so here's the deal. Now that I'm here and I'm inside the prison, I've already consumed all the people. I'm like, what? To gain more power, I have consumed all of the consciousnesses that were being kept here. And so you have to choose. One of you can return to the body, and the other one will get consumed by me. I'm like, well, that's a horrible choice. And then she goes, oh, and by the way, because the chip's been in your head for so long, it will no longer accept your consciousness, and you will die in 6 months if you go back to your body. I'm like, oh, what? This is like the worst ending. So I killed the leader of the Nomads, not the girl, but the leader of the Nomads. And now you're telling me that if I go back to my body, Johnny gets destroyed, and I die. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I want to see what's at the end of this, on the other side of the cyber trail then. So I'll go with the AI. Johnny can go back to my body. So I enter the cyber thing, and I'm like, all right, I'm not expecting to play around in the cyber thing, but you'd think you'd at least get to see the cyber world. No, there's just a big flash of light, and then it's over, and it goes black, and then the credits roll. And or no, I'm sorry, I don't think the credits roll at that point. Um, yeah, lots of flashing lights, and then it all goes black, and then it switches to Johnny, who's in your body. Johnny wakes up. Johnny goes and gets in his car. Johnny talks to this kid. The kid drives him to a guitar shop because Johnny's a rock star, like an actual rock star in the game. And and then the kid takes him to the bus stop, and then Johnny gives the kid the guitar he bought, and because he'd heard the kid playing the guitar and thought he had some talent. And then Johnny gets on board the bus and then leaves the city that the whole game took place in. And that's the end of the game. And then the credits roll, and then you get these phone messages that are like, hey man, you missed your appointment to get your cybernetics checked out. You know it's going to get, and you're going to get in trouble if you don't get your cybernetics tweaked. And then there was like, I know you took his body, Johnny. I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna tear you out by my sheer will. And then it was, hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. I guess you didn't want to finish that mission with me after all. But hey, if you're still in town, give me a ring. Haven't heard from you, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, so Johnny ghosted everybody that was in your life and hasn't talked to any of them. Good for him. So glad that I saved his life. Uh, and ugh. And so, how did I do here? I got they're not brown right now. They're these 20. Wow. I got 20 urns from all that. Nice. So, so yeah, I'm like, this ending is terrible. I hate it. I hate it. So then I look up online. I'm like, what's the best ending? Nobody knows. And so there's an ending that you can get only if you have a high enough faction with Johnny. And I have it. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to try that ending. Now, at this point in the game, I basically can one or two shot everything in the game. Except these dudes called cyber psychos. They usually take more hits. They're like bosses, and so bosses take a few more shots, but not an insane amount of shots. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this Johnny ending, where it's just you and Johnny go against the tower. And I'm like, this sounds like my kind of mission, right? I'm stealthy. I like to snipe things with a silent sniper, or I hack into things. I do up close takedowns kind of thing. This will be great. I can find a back way into the building, and no. It starts out with a Matrix style entrance into the building where the security guard comes up to ask you to stop, and you just walk through the metal detectors with your weapons, and then you start fighting. The problem is that the game is very glitchy. It wasn't terribly glitchy for me, but it was more glitchy than you would expect from a game. And some people, it's very glitchy for. So I'm not sure if my game glitched out or if it's just supposed to be like this. But my weapons were barely doing any. No, my weapons were doing the normal amount of damage. The things just wouldn't die. Like, I would just empty clip after clip into these people before they would die. And I'm like, this is. Because there's an issue where the game wasn't registering, like, armor and stuff for some of the quests. And so I'm wondering if it wasn't that. But I couldn't kill things. Like, and on top of that, you can't save your game anymore for most of the in game stuff. And so um, guys would hit me one time. My health would be like half full, but I would just be dead. And I don't know what was going on. And then as soon as it's like you're dead, then the credits start rolling. And so then you gotta skate back out and reload your game before that started and start from there. And I'm just like, this is awful because it takes so long to load this game. Like it doesn't load while you're playing it, but to load into the game to play it takes a long time for me. And so I'm like, all right, so I can't do this ending, so this is awful. So I'm gonna go back. And so last night, I did another ending, and in this ending, I chose the Arasaka ending, which is you go with the woman who's the sister of the. So the game starts. You're trying to steal this chip from Arasaka. When you get there to steal the chip, the dude kills his father for control of the company, and so some of the quests in the game lead you to working with his sister. And so you go with his sister to confront him. And so I did that. Now, the same guys who are in the mission I couldn't do because I couldn't kill them are in the sister Arasaka ending. And I was killing them with one shot or a couple of shots. Like they're mechs, 2 shots kill a mech. I must have put 1,000 rounds into the mech to kill it, which would be like 2 million damage I had to do to this mech to take it down. And I'm like, I can't do this other ending. I don't have the patience because I shoot the mech in the ending where you attack the tower directly. I take out its weapons, and once its weapons are destroyed, it just tries to stomp on you, but it's slow. So I'm just slowly walking backwards, emptying clip after clip into it. So yeah. So anyways, but in her mission, they were there. I'd shoot them like twice, they'd explode. I'm like, okay, so obviously that other mission is either tweaked to be impossible or it glitched out. One of those two things happened. So anyways, do the Arasaka thing. It ends with you on a space station. Johnny's dead. They pulled him out of your head and slaughtered him. Is it? It's going nighttime, right? Yep. And I thought maybe it was getting daytime and I could go. Let's go check the jungle from a distance real quick. Um, and you know what? Let's go up top and check the jungle. It'll be easier to see from up top and maybe safer. So you get on the space station. They take out Johnny out of your head, and then you have to go through rehab. And then once rehab is over, they're like, so here's the deal. We can't save you. You're going to die. Johnny's dead. All the people are still trapped inside the prison. And your choices are to um, go back to Earth or have them download you into the prison until they can find a body to some way to put you in a body. But you have to sign a contract that the company owns your consciousness. I'm like, okay, well that sounds even worse than the choices made before, so I guess I'm just gonna go back to Earth. And so you'd think that you get to go back to Earth with the people that you spent time with. No, no, you walk to the end of the corridor. He sees his reflection in the window. He tears off the necklace that he was wearing that was made from the bullet that started some of this whole stuff, and yells, and then that's it. And then the credits roll, and then everybody's basically the same. Hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you come down from that space station. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well that was a second awful ending. I can't do the frontal assault ending. There's only one ending left, and I don't want to do the rogue ending where you let Johnny take over your body and do whatever it is they do. So I guess I'm gonna load the game back up one last time, redo the Nomad ending, and take the ending where I die in 6 months. But seriously, they're all horrible endings. There are no good endings in this game. Who makes a game where there's no good ending? What's the point of specking out a character if you can't use the spec of your character? Like, if I was a soldier spec who was into running up wearing armor and weapons, I could probably do that Johnny mission pretty easy, but there is no point where you get to stealth and snipe. At least not in the parts that I managed to finish. And you can't save your game, so when you die, that's it, and things are one-shotting me. And I'm just like, what is going on with this glitchy, messed up game? I. Yeah. So, jungle caught on fire. I built this place out here to work on my melon farm, which I didn't manage to really do today. Well, I did because I've got to make some more pistons. Oh, no. Why are you here? It's lit up in here. Apparently it's not lit up enough in here to stop things from spawning. Does it not look lit up in here enough to stop things from spawning? Do I need 4 more lights in here, I guess? I do see these slightly darker spots. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I hate the lighting in this, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Looks like I need 15 more lights. I guess maybe I'll put 15 more lights in there just to stop things from... Like, it's dark in here. Why isn't stuff spawning right here? It seems cheaty. Do I have enough stuff for 15 lights? I don't have enough glass, I don't think. I don't have redstone either. Look at that. I only got 14 redstone. I'd need like 30 redstone. I'll have to go get more redstone, I guess. I've only got 16 glass. Let me see if I got some more quartz here. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed in the ending of the games. And the most of the rest of the gameplay is alright. I just wish it was more a story and a little less tiny clusters. Every story in the game is pretty much just a series of like 3 to 6 quests or missions. And then once you're done with those, that's it. They don't have any other impact really on the game at all. Like there might be some quests you get because of, you know, something you did or said during the quests that you do complete, but not really. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as I had hoped it was going to be, and I don't know. I don't know why. Do you think I could get away with like 3 lights maybe if I just put... Because there's a extra space in here, so if I just put an extra lamp next to these 3, maybe that'll be enough. Let's try that. Let's get 3 lights. Well, actually, I'm going to end the episode here. But, yeah. So Mass Effect 3, Cyberpunk 2077. I would play them. If you haven't played them and you were thought about playing them, they're worth playing. Just don't go in expecting amazing endings, because you're not going to get it. Not at all. It is... I'm very disappointed with the endings in Cyberpunk. I don't know why anybody would think that that would be the ending that anybody wanted to try for. It's not even like a oh man, I'm sacrificing myself for the other guy kind of ending either. It's just this bizarre, yeah, it's over now. Especially with Johnny just getting on the bus and leaving town. Like, what's he doing? Why is he going? You didn't tell me what Johnny was doing. You didn't tell me what was on the side of the cyberwall. You didn't tell me what happened to Arasaka. You didn't tell me what happened to Pan Am. You didn't tell me what happened to Judy. You didn't tell me what happened to, you know, all the things that you worked on throughout the thing. Like, What was the point of my character existing? Hmm? I don't know. All right, with that, be better than the small things. Oh, man. Lean into the light. I will talk to you later.